Hi everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Rachel and this is Lemonade Stitching, and today I have my September wrap up for you. It is Sunday, September 29th, 2024, and I'm going to kind of share all the projects I worked on in September and some new projects that I got and a new craft that I started this month. So I'm just going to jump on into it, not going to waste too much time here in the beginning. I will say September was an interesting month for my cross stitch. I wasn't feeling super inspired by a lot of my whips this month, and so I was kind of in a little bit of a rut. I did end up getting a fair amount of progress done like over the course of the month, but especially the first 2 weeks, like I was not feeling it, which is why I picked up a new craft, which I'm gonna save for the end. But anyway, we're gonna talk about cross stitch first. And obviously most of you know September is usually called Sampler September, and I was going to participate in Sampler September this year with the same project I used last year for Sampler September, and that is Autumn in the City by Crocette at Gogo. And I started this for Sampler September and hashtag Back to School Sal, which was hosted by Lauren the New Hampshire Stitcher last year back in 2023. And I haven't really worked on it too much since then. It gave me some issues last fall, some mistakes, some counting mistakes, and like margin issues. But I was excited to pull it out for September 2024. And I didn't get nearly as much progress done as I wanted to. This is where I'm at with Autumn in the City. And the whole top row was done before this month, so really the only progress I made was starting this new block down here. And I only worked on this 2 times because it gave me more gripe, more counting mistakes. I had messed up the leaves in the border down here, so now this whole tree is off by 1, which I don't think will be a problem, but yeah. After 2 horrible days of stitching on this, I put it away for the rest of the month and didn't even want to think about it, which was, I think, a big reason I wasn't really feeling cross stitch this month, just because, like, what a way to start, you know, with mistakes and issues and whatever. But this is on 32 count Taupe Lugana with all the called for DMCs. I love the fabric. The colors are fun. I just don't know if and when this will ever be finished, because at this point I don't really like picking it up and I don't really want to display it in my house, so we'll see. It'll probably be a next year issue. I probably won't think about it until then unless I'm like called to pick it up, but yeah, whatever. I ended up getting 458 stitches done on that project this month, so like I said, not many at all. After that horrendous time with Autumn in the City, I really wanted to get a finish. I was like, I need to get a finish. I need something for like a little serotonin boost. So I picked up November, also by Crocette at Gogo, and this is part of her Window in Time series, and I finished this little monthly piece. This has been a whip of mine for just about a year now, and it's finally done. Do I love it? No. The colors in this one just don't speak to me as much as the colors in the other ones, but I wanted to get it done so I could hang it up on my desk for November, so it's done. I just need to find a good backing fabric. I think that's the other reason that like I'm not loving this one, is I don't know what color fabric to use. Like nothing in my stash was working, so I'll probably just get like a dark gray. And this is on 32 count Beautiful Beige, and yeah, just super basic. It's nice, but I don't know, not my fave, but I'm glad it's done and it's off my whip list, because now I can start something new, which I did do. And that was my only finish for the month. I'm really happy that I did end up getting a finish, even though I wasn't stitching a ton. But I did end up having to pick that one up 4 times for a total of 1,371 stitches. 1,371. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, it wasn't too hard. It took like 4 days and I got it out. I'm all done with it. Now the only other WIP I have from this series is March, and when I finish that, it'll be number 8 that I've completed. So then I'll just have 4 more and it'll be all done. Yeah, I started working on these back in 2023 and I finished a bunch of them, but then I just kind of got burnt out on them and started November and March, never finished them, and like haven't really thought about them all year. I mean, I've thought about them a little, but I haven't really felt like working on them all year. So super happy though to have that one done. And I don't know, I need to go to Joann's and look at fabric, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. I have like a month before it has to be fully finished, so it'll be okay. Okay, let's see. I also pulled out the fox this month just for one day. This is a piece by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'll put up a picture for you. And I just needed something different to work on. Like I said, nothing was speaking to me a ton this month, so I pulled this one out. Just got one day in, about 200 stitches, and this is what the fox is looking like. This one is on 40 count Earl Grey by Grace Notes with the called for threads. And I'm loving it. I think I'm about 50% of the way done. So cute. This is one that I definitely want to have finished this year. I'm kind of in the mood to just finish all of my projects. Like, I have several projects that could be finished if I just focus. And so I'm kind of in the mood for just the rest of the year to try and finish those, knock them out, and get some new projects added into my rotation next year. So that's kind of my goal, and what my plans are going forward is just getting as many as my current WIPs done as I can, because I'm ready for some new stuff. But that's the fox. I love her. She's super cute. Okay, next, this one I actually started like the first or second day of the month, and this was the only project that I consistently wanted to work on this month. I worked on this one a ton, and I did post this on my Instagram, but this is Lovely Victorian Home by Dimensions, and I have the kit cover photo. I saw this on Katie by Red Stitchery, her Flosstube, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. So I finally was able to get the kit off of eBay, and I started this earlier this month, and I've been stitching on it a ton. And let me unfold this aida here. It's just a 14 count Ivory aida, and this is my progress. So what I did for this is, it's an oval piece, so I started in the middle, and then I worked my way up. I don't even know if you'll be able to see, but there's like a line of white stitching here. I worked my way up so that I could get to the top of the piece and stitch down, because I don't love having to stitch up. So I was able to find a good kind of like way with this white line of, this will be the house. It allowed me to like count up without being worried that I miscounted. So that's what we've got. This one did give me some trouble as well, but only once. And it was down here in this like water part. Let me fold this up. So this is all half stitches, these trees and the water. And if you've ever worked with the Dimensions kit, you know there's usually areas where you do 2 strands, 3 strands, 4 strands. And I wasn't paying close enough attention, and these trees are actually supposed to be 4 strands of floss, but I only did 2. So then once I noticed that, I was like, you're joking. I just spent, you know, 1 or 2 nights stitching all these trees, and I didn't have to frog anything. I just went over it again with 2 more strands, and I don't think you can tell like the difference between this green, like the thickness of it or anything. Like, I think it worked out fine. But the fact that I just had to stitch the same section all over again was kind of frustrating, but it could have been way worse, so it's okay. But yeah, here it is. Loving it so far. So far the color sections too have been like big enough chunks. Like, I'm not doing a ton of confetti, and it's been pretty manageable. I'm working off of the paper pattern for this, so I don't know my percentage or my stitch count or anything. I did actually count the total number of stitches because I was curious. So I counted like the negative space on the chart, and it's going to be a total of 27,285 stitches. Huge. But yeah, I don't have a percentage or anything because I'm not counting the stitches that I'm doing. My method though for this is I still use my iPad, and I have just taken photos of the chart, and I use GoodNotes to highlight the sections I've done, basically just to save paper and not have to print out a paper copy. But yeah, I don't know my percentage. That's a long-winded way of saying that. But I'm super happy with it. I'm excited to start working down and getting the top shape of the oval. I did start doing the back stitch up here. I haven't decided fully if I'm gonna do it like as I go or what, but I just get worried sometimes that like I'll get lost in like these dense areas and I won't be able to find the exact place the back stitch is supposed to go. So it's just like some little strands, and I just put those in. And then if it like looks horrible and I really need to redo a couple pieces of black thread, I'm not worried about it because at least I'll know where it's supposed to go, you know? So that is lovely Victorian Home. Super, super excited for her. And I had to put it away. I had to put it away for the next month because I want to get some progress on some other stuff. And I feel like if I keep this in my little like rotation bucket that I started using, it will never, like nothing else will get progress on it. I'll just only want to work on this. So that is that. And that was going to be everything I had to show. I was originally going to film this Flosstube yesterday on Saturday, but it was super rainy, super gloomy, and I just didn't feel like it. So instead, I had a full stitching day yesterday. So I have 2 other projects to show as progress. And the first one, I cannot even believe I got 1,000 stitches in on this yesterday. Like, I am blown away. And I did get other stuff done yesterday too. Like, you know, did my chores, cooked, went shopping, whatever. But I was able to get 1,000 stitches in on Baldaquin Birdies bonus chart from the Modern Folk Embroidery 2025 stitch along. I'll put a picture up of the chart. I showed this, I think in my last video, as a new start. And I am stitching this on a little scrap that I had, 36 count Cobalt by Fiber on a Whim with Pearl by Dinky Dyes. And this is what it looks like after getting 1,000 stitches in. So yesterday my goal was to just like work on this chandelier here, but then I ended up putting this whole bird in pretty much. So I'm absolutely loving it. I'm over halfway now, like just barely over halfway, but I love it. I think it looks so good. I should put like something behind this so that it looks a little better, but I love it. I'm a little nervous that that the bird in the bottom of the chandelier looks like a completely different color, but I can't tell if it's just like the angle that I'm holding this at or what, but I don't know why it would look so different because it's the same thread that I used on the rest of it, but that is a worry that I'm having, that it looks completely like darker. Like, I don't know, it looks like that in the viewfinder, but I don't know if it'll look like that like for you guys watching, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it, but I got 1,000 stitches in, so there's no going back now. But it's super cute. And this will just be like a super cute little frame when it's done. And this is another one that is going to get done this year. Mark my words. Because it's really not that big of a chart. It's only got 4,745 stitches. So I guess I have like 2,200 stitches left, but it goes by so fast, and it's just one color, so super easy to get progress on. And this is going to be in my rotation for October, as well as this next one I'm going to show. This is Making Memories by Imaginating, and I'll hold up this cover photo for you. And this one I started earlier this year. I've been kind of working on it every so often. But like it's not my favorite to pull out because I've been working on this center camera shutter. But I pulled it out yesterday. I pressed all of my projects yesterday morning and took pictures of them, and so when I saw this, I was like, you need to work on that, because again, I can easily get this done this year if I just focus on it. So I pulled it out last night and I finished the camera shutter in the center, and I finished the back stitch on it, and then I started on the letters on the bottom. Ugh, the lighting is horrible. It got so dark. Okay, there we go. So this is on a 28 count opalescent white linen, 2/2 DMC strands. And last night when I finished this camera shutter, I was so sick of it. I contemplated just finishing it there. This is gonna be a gift, so I contemplated just like doing a round ornament finish with only the shutter in the middle, but I don't know. Then I talked myself out of that, and I was like, just do the rest of it, you know, because by the time I cut that off, like, what am I gonna do with these little scraps of fabric? So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do the whole thing. It's really not that much more cross stitch because most of the rest of the design is back stitch. And then it's just like the bolded letters that are gonna be cross stitched. So I think I can definitely get this done before the end of the year. I don't know that I'll get it done in time to give it Christmas, but I think I can definitely get it done like towards the end of the year. So I don't know. Christmas is basically the end of the year, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was the last project I worked on. I worked on this last night after I finished my 1,000 stitches in Baldaquin Birdies, because I was like, I need to do something else. When I got to like the 800 stitches mark, or like the 900 stitches, I was like, I kind of want to put this down, but I also like kind of want to say I put 1,000 stitches in on this today. So I just kept going, and then I think it ended up being like 1,002. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, put it away. Put it away. I need to do something else. So that is that for whips. That is everything I worked on in September. Turned out to be way more than I thought it would. But then I think about like the 10,000 stitches I got in August. I'm like, but oh well. I had a lot more homework this month too. My class this semester is a lot more intense than I was expecting. So between work and school and hobbies and, you know, whatever, I'm happy with the amount of progress that I did get done. Okay, next I'm going to show you some new charts I got to add to Stash, and these are actually all kitted projects, which is super exciting because I can start them pretty soon. But the first one I got off of Facebook D-Stash, and this is Flowers of Rose Hall by Rosewood Manor, and I'm pretty sure this is an out of print chart. That's a beautiful sampler. I originally saw this on Facebook, and I was going to start it for Sampler September, words, but I was just feeling kind of overwhelmed with all the projects I had and also not inspired, so I was like, I don't want to start this yet till I can give it the love and attention it deserves. So that is Flowers of Rose Hall, and there's a couple like minis in here as well, and this actually came with all of the Vicky Clayton silks that it was called for. And it was a really good deal. I'm super excited that I found this. I think it had been posted for literally like 2 minutes when I saw the Facebook post, and I immediately snatched it up. But here are all the colors. They're so, so gorgeous. I've never worked with these before, and they come in little spools, and I wasn't 100% sure how to store them and how to work with them. I ended up just putting them on the blended floss drops by Adam Hart, mostly because that was all I had in Stash. All my bobbins that I usually use are being used. I need to order some more, but then I split the skein in half after I cut it and put it on both of these just because it was so thick. But yeah, I wasn't sure like what the right way to store these was, so this is what works for me. They're all so, so pretty, and I'm excited to work with these. I'll probably start this in January-ish, not 100% sure, but I did pull some fabric from Stash for this. Where's the little tag? And this is 40 count Winter Moon Linen by Zweigart, and it's just a beautiful cream. Oh, wrong way. Beautiful cream, and then here it is with the silks. So I think this will really let all of the colors pop. I was playing with a couple other fabrics that I have in stash, maybe doing a colored piece, but every piece of fabric that I had that I liked the color of, one of the silks would have gotten lost in it, so I opted to just do the neutral cream color, and I think it'll be really pretty. So that is one project. Next is another Facebook Marketplace de-stash, and this is Maggie the Messmaker by Dimensions Gold. And again, I got a really good deal on this, so I snatched it up as soon as I saw it. But this is just a dimensions kit, so it comes with everything I'll need, and it comes with, I think, 18 count aida actually. Yeah, 18 count beige aida instead of 14 count, so that'll be nice. I think I'm gonna have to change the name to Sybil the Messmaker because my black and white cat's name is Sybil, and I know it doesn't have the same alliteration alliteration factor, but it's still cute. So I love this one, super fun. I think Katie Red Stitchery also has this one. I don't know if she started it or what, but I feel like she's shown this, and that's how I first learned about it. Love that one. Don't have too much to say other than I want to start it. And the last one is another dimensions kit. This one is not out of print. I just bought this one on Amazon, and this is Garden Door, again inspired by Katie from Red Stitchery. She is working on this as well, and again, when I saw it, I was obsessed with it. And this one is still, it's easy to get. You can just order it on Amazon, and it's a newer one, so all the threads come pre-sorted, which is fantastic. I'm not looking forward to sorting the threads in the Maggie the Messmaker one, but it's super pretty, and the artist for this artwork is actually the same as Lovely Victorian Home. So Katie talks in her video about how she's gonna frame these in the same style, and she sees this door as the back door of this house, which I think is so, so cute, and I definitely agree with her. So I'll probably put them together someday. Someday when they're both stitched. Who knows when that will be. But yeah, that is all my cross-stitch things. And my surprise new craft that I have for today is actually knitting. So if you're not interested in knitting, no worries. But I did start knitting this month. And I have not knit since I was probably 10 years old, and I tried to knit, and I got, one of those books from Michaels, and I didn't like it. It took too long, so I just learned how to crochet instead. But over the past couple of years, seeing all the Flosstubers that do knit, especially recently talking to Megan and Elizabeth and Maddie, and Cam just started knitting, Bridget knits, Marjorie's just started, all the girls knit. And then of course there's other Flosstubers who knit as well, but finally I just had it one day and I was like, that's it, I need to join, I need to make a sock, let's do it. So I dove in feet first, and I went to my local yarn store after work one day, and I got 2 sock skeins and some needles, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do this. So let me show you. I don't even know how to talk about knitting. So I'm keeping it in this bag that Marjorie gave me at StitchCon. And I guess I'll show you what I'm working on first, and I'll show you the other yarn. But I am making the Vanilla Sock by Crazy Sock Lady. So I'm almost done with my first one. I don't really know the right way to show this. I'm new to being a knitting influencer. But here is my first sock. I have another inch or 2, I think, on the foot, and I just have to do my toe decreases and I'll be done with number 1. But it is this gorgeous, gorgeous green. Like I said, this is just the Vanilla Sock by Crazy Sock Lady, and I'm obsessed. It's been so much fun doing this. I really have not knit anything ever, and I was like, I'm doing it. I know the basics, kinda. I thought I knew the basics, I should say that. And then I sat down to start it, and I literally had to look up how to knit, because it's been so long since I knit. I knew, that you stick the needle in, you wrap the yarn around, but I could not get it. It took me 2.5 hours to just start it. I was looking up how to knit for crocheters, because I'm so used to holding the yarn, when I crochet, and I have a ton of working yarn and I'm super far away from the crochet hook, but when I'm knitting, I'm trying to be closer. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I'm super happy with how this is turning out. Is it perfect? No. Is it great? Or is it good enough? Yes. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous green. This is the ball, the cake. It's kind of a hot mess, but don't worry about it. But this is the color Fiona, I think, by Malabrigo, don't know. This is the little tag, it says sock. And then this is the back of it, so I think that's the brand. Don't really know, but it was one of the cheapest yarns in the yarn store, and I didn't want to buy the most expensive one, you know, the first time I was knitting. I was just gonna go to Joann's and get like a budget-friendly version, but I needed to go to the yarn store to get small enough needles. I had to get, you know, a size 1 needle, and Joann's didn't have those. I checked online, so I was like, you know what, I'm not making 2 stops. I'm already here. I'm just gonna pick out some yarn. So I got this gorgeous green, and then I also got hot fuchsia pink. She is stunning. So someday I'll have pink and white sock, or pink and green socks, but it'll be a bit because I haven't even finished sock number 1 yet. So this one is just in stash, and then the needles I'm using are Aida Rocket needles, size 1, 32-inch cable, and these are the long taper sharp tip needles. So they kind of hurt my hands because I poke my fingertips all the time, but I'm getting used to it. I'm getting better. My hands don't hurt nearly as much as they did when I first started using them, but I have no complaints. They seem to be good needles. I don't know what you look for in a needle, but they're doing the trick. I got a huge pack of little light bulb stitch markers on Amazon for like $5, and it was great. So definitely pleasantly surprised with how the knitting adventure is going. Starting to like pick up some speed. I've learned how to pick up my dropped stitches and how to like work backwards, and how to not freak out when I accidentally pull the whole needle out and I have 32 stitches off of the needle, and I have to carefully pick them all up and make sure they're in the right order. So definitely got lots of practice doing that. I don't want to say how many times I've pulled the whole needle out like of the row when I'm trying to like magic loop it back around, because it's embarrassing, and every time I go and Graham's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. He's gonna be like desensitized to me gasping, and then something bad will happen and he'll be like, oh, she probably just dropped another stitch. But no, that's a joke. But I have done that a lot, and I do gasp a lot when I'm knitting because everything always seems like the end of the world. But I'm just trying not to take it too seriously. It's a sock, so like, and it's for me, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm on the inside part, so like when I have my shoes on, nobody's gonna see it anyway. So yeah, but anyway, that is everything I have to share with you guys today, I think. Let me refer to my notes, because I actually made notes this time. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to share. I'm really excited. I have a new little organization system that I'm trying out. I got some new like plastic bins from Target. So I used to keep all my projects in one big square bin or basket by my couch, but I've kind of grown out of that because now all my projects don't fit in that one bin anymore. So I got a couple of these bins, and these are just like smaller magazine bins, and this way I can fit like 5 projects in here, and this will be my like main rotation bucket for the month. I'll pick out some projects that I want to kind of focus on and rotate through, and obviously like I can switch them out whenever, or like if I want to work on something else. But this way I'm not overwhelmed by looking at 20 project bags, 15 project bags, and keeps it just like a little bit neater. So I've picked out what I want to work on for October. I've put most of these back except for Making Memories and the Baldaquin Birdies bonus chart, because I've only worked on them one day. So I have those, as well as a couple other projects that are going in here for October, and then you guys will be able to see what comes from that at the end of October in my next Flosstube update. But yeah, I'm super, super happy to be able to share another update with y'all, and thank you so, so much for watching. I hope everyone's staying safe, and I hope everyone has a good week, a good month, and I will see you all in my next Flosstube.